The idea of letting go is really scary for people because what do they have to let go of, right? I mean, you can look at it as physical things, but I want to talk about something I think a little bit deeper because true freedom occurs when you let go of things like taking things personally, right? Or letting go of what others think of you, or letting go of the need to be perfect, or trying to be something you're not, right? If you think about that, how much time is spent for most people in those areas? And by the way, these things that I just said is what leads us
Repeat them again.
To hold on to situations, right? Information, people, right? It's never about the situation. It's how we feel about it. So again, if we challenge these feelings that we have, because this is where letting go, I really think begins and ends ultimately. Letting go of taking things personally. That took me, my moon is in Cancer, and I didn't realize how much I did that until it was pointed out to me by many. Letting go of what others think, obviously of me or what I do. Letting go of the need to be perfect. And letting go of trying to be something you're not, which is living somebody else's version of what you should be or ideal of what life you should lead, right? When you no longer care about these things, then what are you trying to control? The way that you're viewed, the things that you have. And I remember this really rung true for me, especially when Josh was born. And I have no shame about it because I feel like I'm an open book and I really learned from that because it was like right in my face. I remember when he was like 2 or 3 months old, and he has Down syndrome for those who haven't followed us intimately. And I went to a coffee shop and he was in the stroller and I ran into somebody from high school.
I actually remember the story.
And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I hope that they can't like notice that he has this or that he's different because then they're going to judge me and look what came of my life and that I'm a bad person and that's why it happened. Like this was the loop in my mind, right? And it was so negative and it was so loud that I stopped right there in that moment and I was like, this is not who you're going to be. This is not who you are, and this is not how you're going to live your life. And it was the beginning of the chipping away of this freedom of surrender, of letting go of what people think, of what they think I should be, of how I should live my life, right? It was really the place in which everything else that happened followed that thought, right? It was that powerful.
Still, I know for me, and I'm sure for you, this is still, none of us are perfect in this. Life is a journey of surrender.
Correct. And by the way, we'll still have those moments, but they'll last maybe 10 minutes or depending on what it is, right? Whereas before it would define me.